Yeah, thank you. Welcome to day 3 Agri Empower Pepper Bootcamp. We will be talking today transplanting and farm management. But meanwhile, let me give you a recap of what we have done for day 2 for understanding's sake. But I will encourage you to subscribe and ensure that you are part of this up to anytime I upload video. Bootcamp is ongoing. We will still be doing catfish bootcamp, and I will encourage you to be part of it. And every now and then we'll be carrying you out to show you what you need to know. Let me do the recap of day 2. We talk about the seed selection and nursery management, and then we told you what you need to do in the first 30 days of this pepper life cycle. So we told you where to get the seed source. We said you can get it locally and you can get hybrid. The local seed is known as open pollinated, and it's not always the best, but it's good, and you can start with that too. It's cheaper and we can save from previous ones, but it has low yield potential and inconsistent fruit size and susceptible to many diseases. The hybrid, we told you, is very much better, 2 to 3 times better, and provide uniform shape and very high resistance. And I told you how to test the viability. The ones that floated are useless and the ones that sink are better. We told you nursery bed preparation and the soil mix. You have to get topsoil and part composite and cure manure, and you can add sharp sand, which is optional. That is when you see more of a clay. Then sowing techniques, the depth should be 0.5 centimeter to 1 centimeter, and the space should be 10 centimeter apart in the nursery. You cover with fine soil, but don't press and don't compact. Management of water, watering is twice in a day, early morning and in the evening. You have to shade it with palm frond so that it will not have a full blown of the sun on it. And it takes 5 to 7 days to germinate and 10 to 14 days to bring out the fruit, to bring out leaves. So we told you the setup: get the container or a tray, then the soil should be sterilized. Then we told you sow it and you cover with mulch. Then you monitor. Once you see it sprout out, remove the mulch. Protection, so that you will not be eaten by all these ants and insects as they are springing out. Use ash or use neem oil. So this is what we did talk in day 2. Day 3, which is the main thing, is transplanting and farm management. Transplanting and farm management. What is the objective of this day 3? Is to equip you participant with the skill to prepare a permanent feed, safely transplant seedlings, and maintain a high yield environment through soil and water management. This is what we are aiming to achieve in this day 3 bootcamp. When do you transplant? The ready signs are these, because time is everything. Moving a plant too early or too late is a big error. It can cause stunt growth. So the age on which you move the plant from the nursery to the main feed is 4 to 6 weeks. Minimum of 4 weeks to 6 weeks. after you are sowing, and also depending on the variety you are attempting to use. Let's look at the physical sign. Now the seedling should have 4 to 6 leaves and the stem as thick as a matchstick. Matchstick. Then 2, 3 or more. Look at the hardening off rules. You have exposed it to the sun in 3 to 5 days before you move it down to the field. And in the course, you will reduce watering and you increase sun exposure, so they don't go into a transplant shock. It's like someone who is not used to a particular place and suddenly move it to a particular place. That will be transplant shock. You wait, and that will make it not to grow as ought to be. So invariably, that would have been the best moment. Now, land preparation. How do you prepare the land? You create a root-friendly home. So in that case, you have to do clearing. In the clearing, you remove all weeds and previous crop residues, but do not burn them. If possible, let there be a compost them instead, so that they can form a manure. What else again in the land preparation? You till. Tilling is good. What does it mean? You break the soil to a depth of 20 to 30 centimeters. This allows root to breathe and reach deep nutrient. Now, bed formation. In our country, you need to raise bed. What are the beds? These are heaps or ridges. They are the best in the case for pepper. Why? They prevent waterlogging during the rainy season and make weeding even more easier. Now, let's look at the spacing techniques. So we are looking at quality over quantity. If you plant too close, you have a problem. So cloudy plant will lead to disease and small fruit. So proper spacing ensures each plant gets enough sunlight and airflow. So let's look at the standard spacing. 50 centimeter between plant. 50 centimeter between plant. So within the row. And 70 centimeter between rows. These are the things you look at. Then the yield secret. The yield secret of this. The uniform spacing make it easier to calculate exactly how much fertilizer and water you need for the whole farm. Because it will let you know at a glance the way it goes, and it will not be on the scatter mode and creating issue to oneself. Let's look at soil fertility and nutrition on this. So the soil fertility is mainly organic manure at the beginning, the foundation. So you need to apply well, cure poultry or dog or cat dog to lead dog to the bed 2 weeks before you transplant. So the bed you have prepared, the ridges you have prepared, the platform, you have to apply this as a foundation 2 weeks before you take it up for planting, transplanting it. So NPK fertilizer, this is a boost, act as a booster. So NPK 15 is great for general growth. This is good for general growth. The application, please take note carefully. And now that we say put fertilizer in whatever, organic or non-organic, you now put it anyhow. So apply in a ring, that is 5 centimeter to 10 centimeter away from the stem. In a ring that round it. Never let fertilizer touch the plant directly. Why? It will burn it and kill it, and too much of it is not even healthy. As you know, too much of everything is not even good for human. So management, look at how we manage the water and weeds. So watering method, you can use manual. In this case, you use bucket or can, but it's of labor intensive anyway. Drip irrigation is the best. That's the gold standard for pepper. Why? You save water, it's not anyhow pour, and prevent leaf disease because it will not allow water to touch the leaf. So weed control is key in this regard. Weed steal nutrient. Weed steal nutrient, that the nutrient from fertilizer, organic fertilizer, and others. So you use as a manure, whatever, they steal it. So hand pulling or light hoeing should be done every 2 to 3 weeks until the pepper canopy is large enough to shade out the weeds. Now, key concepts for success in pepper planting. So plant space equal to yield control. Plant spacing equal to yield control. Now, better spacing will lead to larger, heavier pepper that fetch higher price. Now, soil head K is equal to crop success. Soil head is equal to crop success. You are not just feeding the plant, you are feeding the soil. So healthy soil fight pests naturally. Healthy soil fight pests naturally. So that is one thing you should take note of. Now output is pepper farm setup blueprint for you to get the output. So let's look at the blueprint for you to set it up. Then feed geometry. So measure your land and mark out your part. So firstly, you measure the land and you mark out your part of where you plant. Then the tip you need, leave a 1 meter wide walk away. Leave a 1 meter wide walk away every 4 rows for easy harvesting and spraying. Take note, very key. Phase 2, we just talk about phase 1. Phase 2 is transplanting day. Time, only transplant in the late in the evening. For instance, 4 to 6 p.m. Not in the afternoon. Or on a cloudy day, if it's going to be in the afternoon, maybe the day that is cloudy that about to rain, to prevent wilting, because the sun will make them to wilt. They will not able to be compatible with the roots to get water. Now depth, plant at the same depth the seed was in the nursery. Now as you remove them from the nursery, you know the depth, mark it and plant with the same depth the seed was in the nursery. Firm the soil gently around the base, meaning as you have planted, compact it, but not as with force. Phase 3, initial care. Water the seedlings immediately after transplanting. Water the seedlings immediately after transplanting. Now, you monitor for the first 7 days for any mortality as you have planted. So dead plant, that is what mortality, and replace them immediately. This is called supplanting. So I am able to give you comprehensively what you need to know on day 3 of this pepper bootcamp. And watch out, those of you that are interested in catfish, you can actually begin to enroll now for the catfish, and we will give it to you. And remember, this pepper bootcamp, like any other, it has 4 levels, and this is just the foundation. We are on the course treating for 5 days. We have the intermediate, and we have the advanced level, and the specialization level. So for you to get this more of this video, you need to subscribe. It will not be so easily be given to anyone except the one for advertisement now. So take note of this. And if you want to participate in the 4 level, very essentially, and it's good for you to learn and understand this so that you become a specialist in this regard. Thank you for listening. Thank you for hearing. God bless you. For the next video, subscribe to gain more.